Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture we are going to build update employee REST API. So let us go to our project in IntelliJ IDEA. Well, first we want to change the service layer and then we'll change the controller layer because the controller layer depends on service layer. So let us go to employee service interface over here. Within this interface, let us define the method. So here let us give employee DTO as a return type of the method and let us give method name as update employee. And let us pass employee ID as a post parameter and employee DTO as a second parameter, and this employee DTO basically contains the updated employee details. Okay, so let us call it as updated employee. Okay, perfect. Now we have defined update employee method in an employee service interface. Next, let us implement this method in an employee service IMPL class. So let us go to employee service IMPL class over here. Just mouse over in this class, click on this implement methods and then click on OK method. Now let us go and let us implement update employee method. Within update employee method, let us first add the validation, like if employee with a given ID is not exist in database, then we have to throw the resource not found exception, isn't it? So let us write that logic here. So just call employee repository. It has find by ID method, and notice here find by ID method returns optional app type employee. So let us call find by ID method over here and then pass employee ID as a parameter, and then optional has or else throw method. So let us call or else throw method over here, and notice here or else throw method takes supplier as a functional interface, and we have to provide the lambda expression implementation for this supplier functional interface. So just call this method and then let us construct the lambda expression. So here new resource not found exception, and then let us pass the custom exception message. Let us say employee is not exist with given ID, and then pass employee ID dynamically. Perfect. Next, let me put the semicolon over here. Alright, and this or else throw method returns a employee object. So here let us take the result of or else throw method in a local variable of type employee. Perfect. Next, we have the updated employee object. It contains all the employee updated information. So let us set all the details from updated employee object into this employee object. Okay, so here employee dot set first name, and then updated employee dot get first name, employee dot set last name, and then updated employee dot get last name, employee dot set email, and then updated employee dot get email. Perfect. Next, let us call employee repository. It has a save method and then pass this employee object. Okay, so here basically we have updated this employee object with first name, last name, email, and again we are saving this employee object by using save method. So basically this save method performs both save and update operation. Well, if employee object contains ID, then this save method internally perform the update operation, and if employee ID doesn't contain the primary key ID, then it will perform the insert operation. Alright, next this save method returns the updated employee object. So here let us declare the updated employee object like this. Perfect. Next, if you can see here, update employee method returns the employee DTO. So let us convert this updated employee object JPA entity into employee DTO. So here go to return statement, remove this null, and then call employee mapper. It has map to employee DTO method and then pass updated employee object as a parameter. Now we have implemented update employee method in a employee service IMPL class. Next, let us create the REST API that will internally call this update employee method. So go to employee controller over here. Within employee controller, let us build update employee REST API. So here, let me first write the comment build update employee REST API. Let us first create a method and then we will convert that method into REST API by using Spring annotations. So here just type public response entity and then pass employee DTO as a type. Let us give method name as update employee. Alright, and let us pass employee ID as a first argument and employee DTO as a second argument. So this employee DTO is nothing but updated employee information. Perfect. Next, let us call employee service. It has update employee method, and then pass employee ID as a first parameter, updated employee as a second parameter. Perfect. Next, this update employee method returns the employee DTO. So here let us have a local variable of type employee DTO. Alright, next let us have a return statement, return response entity, and then call OK method, and then pass employee DTO. Alright, now we have created update employee method. Let us make this method as a REST API by using Spring annotations. So let us annotate this method with @putMapping annotation. Well, we use @putMapping annotation to map incoming HTTP put request to this method. Next, let us pass the ID. So here is the syntax. Within a open and close curly braces, just pass the ID. So this ID is nothing but a URI template variable, and we need to bind the value of this URI template variable to the method argument. So in order to do that, we can use @path variable annotation over here. And next, let us pass the URI template variable, that is ID. Perfect. Next, we need to use one more annotation, that is @requestBody annotation. Well, this @requestBody annotation will basically extract the updated JSON from the request, and it will convert that JSON into employee DTO Java object. Okay, perfect. Now we have built update employee REST API. Next, let us rerun our Spring Boot application and let us test this REST API using Postman client. So from here, I am going to stop and rerun the Spring Boot application. Well, notice here our Spring Boot application is up and running in an embedded Tomcat server on port 8080. Next, let us go to Postman client over here, and here let me copy this URL and let me create the new request. And here let us choose HTTP put method, and let us enter the request URL localhost 800/API/employees, and then we need to pass the employee ID that we are going to update. So let us say we are going to update the employee with ID 1. Alright, next let us pass the updated information in the body. So click on body, raw, content type JSON, and here we need to pass the JSON. So here let me quickly create the JSON. Post name. Well, if you go to MySQL Workbench and go to employees table over here, and if you look at here, employee ID 1 has a first name Ramesh, last name Partare, email ID ramesh@gmail.com. So let us update all these three column values. So let us update the first name from Ramesh to Ram, last name from Partare to Jadhav, email ID ramesh@gmail.com to ram@gmail.com. Alright, so let us go back to Postman client, and here let us give the updated first name, that is Ram, and last name Jadhav, email ram@gmail.com. Next, go ahead and click on send button over here, and there we go. You can see the response. The post name is updated, last name is updated, and email is also updated. Let us verify this information in database table as well. So let us go back to MySQL Workbench, and here let us select rows from employees table. Notice here the employee ID 1, the post name is changed from Ramesh to Ram, last name is changed from Partari to Jadhav, email ID is changed from ramesh@gmail.com to ram@gmail.com. It means we have successfully built update employee REST API. Alright, great. In next lecture, we will build delete employee REST API. Alright, great. I will see you in the next lecture.